Our two contestants this afternoon, Lisa Cash and Sandra Osman. Mike Hennessy, a little bit about our competitors.
Lisa Cash led our qualifier. She bowled 159 pins over her average, which is 143. Sandra Osman actually was fifth, and she won 3 matches earlier today. She's the lowest average bowler in our tournament at 118. So she will be receiving 25 pins handicap in this match.
That's Lisa right there, Lisa Cash.
Right there. Sandra's 27. She's married. She stays at home with 2 children, Sarah and AJ. They're 5 and 4, and I'm sure that's a full-time job.
There you go. Well, and just off to the right, you'll see him in a few moments. We'll show him is Sandra's favorite fan, and that's husband Sam. He's over there rooting today. And now, once again, Lisa Cash. Lisa out of Poelking Lanes, needs the spare on the first one, and comes too far to the left, and picks up the 8 pins. She misses the 5-9. Yes. So she has but 8 pins in the opening frame. That's Sandra Osman waiting for her turn. And as Mike pointed out, once again, this is in reference to the average bowler. Sandra was the last bowler as far as concerned when the competition started today, being the last bowler, having the lowest number of pins. But she came out of nowhere, didn't she?
Yes, she did. You know. She defeated Darla Eds from Driftwood and Susan Fonderheide from Woodman and Tammy Fagel from Woodman. So all of whom had a higher average than she did.
Sandra's a southpaw, goes to the right-hand side and leaves 3 pins for the spare. It's remarkable the number of bowlers throughout the area, the Dayton-Miami Valley area, that we have noted this year in our TV2 Super Bowl, our Casanos 300 Club, that are left-handers, good left-handed bowlers. And there's a great deal of good ones across the nation, as you bowling fans can attest to that.
You know, it's interesting, out on the Pro Bowlers Tour, there's a big complaint on the part of the right-handers that the left-handers in bowling, she picks up that head pin and leaves the 2-4. But there's a big feeling on the part of bowlers that left-handers have an advantage because there are fewer of them. The lane tends to break down less so that they can actually keep their line much better.
An interesting concept, but they are good. They are very much in the competition all the time. And now this is Sandra Osman once again. Both these competitors are from Poelking Lanes, representing Poelking. Look out. Oh, she got herself the split, and this is going to be a little difficult to pick up.
That 5-7-9. That's a tough one.
You've seen some of the better bowlers, and as Mike points out, and he's seen them down through the years, they can pick them. They can pick those single pins and just leave them there. And but right now, Sandra has a real challenge.
Tough one.
Look out. Good looking one. Good shot. Yes.
I think everybody's been sort of smiling at Sandra today. She won those first 3 matches, Omar, and in all 3 matches she was losing in about the 7th frame, the 8th frame, and she came up with strikes to win. So she picks up that that split. It looks like the gods are smiling at her.
Here's Lisa Cash. Oh, she got what Mike refers to as a wobbler again. Just working on it, but not enough. Our first match, the men's pins over average, Chip Bolin and Bob Border. Chip winning by a total of about 19 pins, but it wasn't until the 8th or 9th, and when they separated the winner from the loser. It took a while.
Lisa needs to pick up that 10 pin.
Too much.
She doesn't do it. She's a secretary at Meade and bowls in the Wednesday Night Moonlighters League at Poelking Lanes.
I meant to ask, Mike, these young ladies, do they bowl more than once a week? Or?
Most of them, no. I think both of these girls bowl once a week. Lisa has been bowling for 7 years. She graduated.
There we go.
She goes with a strike.
Gets in a little bit of the action, and Lisa finally with her first mark. She gets a strike in the 3rd frame. And now here is Sandra Osman.
Sandra right now, Omar, with that 25 pins handicap and the strike. I mean, not the strike, but picking up the split, has a nice size lead right now.
That won't hurt.
That didn't hurt at all.
Sandra Osmond, as Mike, you pointed out, she has been, everything's been going well, and right now it's going well, but you've got to reflect on the fact that she's doing it.
She's right.
Doing it herself. She came in here trailing, low lady on the totem pole, as they say, and right now she could be heading for the top prize. Whoops, she got that Nova on the bar.
She left that 1-2-4, Omar, and again, that's one of those spare leaves that it's very easy to pick up 1 or 2 pins and leave 1 or 2 pins. Sandra, by the way, is a Belmont High School graduate who played in the band. So if you want to get ready for bowling as a sport, playing in the band is probably one of the better ways to
She didn't play the trombone, did she? That might work it out that way.
She picked off that head pin.
Well, she needed to do that with that spare before, but this time she needed a little fuller hit, and she didn't get it.
That gives her a 79 through the first 4 frames after we added in the 25 pins handicap. Lisa working on a strike.
My goodness. Got it to the far side.
I think nerves are playing a little part here.
I didn't want to say that, Mike, but I think she might be bowling a little bit under pressure.
You know, another thing, she led the tournament, so she actually hasn't bowled today.
Oh, yes.
Sandra has already had to bowl 3 other matches, so sometimes leading a tournament is not necessarily the best thing.
That's that stepladder effect
She left
you were
that
talking
5 pin,
about.
right.
The stepladder effect, and Sandra coming up, and each time defeating her opponent and moving right into the challenging role.
In fact, some of the pro bowlers out there really don't like to be in that lead position, although it guarantees them they can't finish any worse than second, but they don't like the idea that they're meeting somebody that may have bowled 2 and 3 matches. She left the 1-3. She's missing the head pin. She's missing it to the left. Right now, she's got 45 through that 4th frame, and Sandra is sitting there with 79.
So Lisa is going to have to turn it around here and not wait too much longer because, well, she picked up a spare there. That's what she needed. Lisa has one of her bowling buddies and a very good friend, Darlene Shively, seated real near the lanes there, and she's rooting for Lisa on every roll, but she's still alive. She's still very much alive, but she's going to have to turn it around unless Sandra. Well, Sandra here gets a full hit, but leaves 3 pins.
2, 4, 5. Sandra's, I asked her what kind of a bowling ball she was using, and she explained to me that it was an old ebonite. An old ebonite. Lisa's bowling with a pearl hammer. These days the balls are known as hammers and nails and rhinos and old ebonites.
Oh, a little too thin.
Leaves that 4 pin. That gives her 88 through the 5th frame, and actually gives Lisa a little bit of a chance to catch up here. She has that 45 in the 4th frame working on a spare. She's going to be down about 20 pins.
Sandra Osmond coming in here. She got a little help there.
She kicked out that 5 pin. Left that 10.
She left the 10, but to leave the 10 for a left-hander is easier than leaving the 7. But
that's for an 118 average bowler. Those corner pins have got to be very tough to pick up.
Sandra Osmond going after the 10 pin.
And I believe that's Sandra's husband, Sam, there, that's sitting there cheering her on, and
she got it too far over, just did miss it. And
we need shorter lanes.
Yes, Lisa now with a chance to get back.
She's working on that spare.
She gets herself a strike here, and she'd be right back.
Right back in the game.
And, you know...
Omar, you're becoming a prognosticator.
There you go. She went
That
on
puts
the,
her down 23 pins in the fifth frame, but she has the strike, and you remember that Sandra was open. So
well, you got to realize, too, that Lisa needs the help from the standpoint of the 25-pin handicap.
She has to make that up.
She has to make that up. Now, with a double here, it would help immensely. Did she get over too far? It's the same thing she did before.
She left that 1-3-5-8, and again, that's a tough spare to pick up.
Well, it's a well-worn phrase, but these pins take funny bounces, and they move in various directions. Bowlers that bowl 4 or 5 times a week attest to that. There's a good hit.
Picked them up. Good.
There's a good hit.
Okay, that leaves her actually. She's only down 12 pins now, right now in the 6th frame and a spare. So.
Here again, Sandra Osmond. The left-hander getting over on the right-hand side, and she's going to have a pickup, go right onto that head pin. Mike, you've been talking about missing
1, 2, 4, 7, 9. Again, that's very easy to pick up 2 or 3 of these pins.
Missing the head pin, obviously enough, will always cause trouble, and that's what Sandra's doing at the moment.
I think one of the things that coaches try to do when somebody's starting out bowling, one thing they keep telling them is, hit the head pin, no matter how you hit it. Your chances of scoring are much, much better. And again, she misses that head pin,
yes.
picks off the 9.
The situation would be that...
right now, she has 103 through the 7th frame, and Lisa has an 85 through the 6th with a spare in the 7th. That's 95. So we're basically right now, Omar, we're just about even.
Getting awfully, awfully close. That time?
I think what's happening to her a little bit, Omar, she's getting up to the line a little too quickly, and that left hand is trailing, and you notice the ball going out to that left-hand side. Doesn't come through.
Quite frankly, Mike, she could be getting a bit tired.
You're right. This is her 4th game, and she may not be used to bowling 4 games, particularly 4 games of pressure.
Yes, yes. She had to come up the ladder, as we pointed out before. And she just...
And again, she does the same thing. She rushes up there. That gives her 109 through that 8th frame and puts Lisa right now in the driver's seat.
It's remarkable how the scene changes. A couple of frames, 3 or 4 frames. We are in the midst or tailing off toward the end now of the women's pins over average. Lisa Cash and Sandra Osmond. This is Lisa. And Lisa had to give up 25 pins.
Pin, but again, she picks up 9. That gives her a 1-pin lead in the 7th frame. And if she can pick up a spare here, she can go 10 pins up.
She needs the spare, no doubt about it. Picks up the spare. And so Lisa Cash and Sandra Osmond, both representing Poelking Lanes, right now having a whale of a duel as we tail down to the 8th, 9th, and 10th frames.
Remember, again, that's bowling for $1,000 first prize and a $500 second prize. That adds a little bit more to the pressure. Off to the right again. Got a little lucky that time, but again, she missed that head pin. Left the 139. Actually, she has a 12-pin lead through 8 frames, 121 to 109.
I want to remind you that our 300 club bowling finals will be following in just a few minutes with the completion of the Cash Osmond match here.
She picks off the 2 and leaves the 1.
This has all the earmarks of coming down to...
She has 130 in the 9th, and again, that 9th frame is the one that you'd like to get if possible, get a mark. She didn't do it. And here comes Sandra. She has 2 frames in which to catch up here. Leaves that 5-8. She needs a mark here. She needs to pick these up.
Caught a glimpse of her husband Sam a moment ago. He's the gentleman at the moment quietly rooting for the missus.
She picks him up.
She picked up the spare, a vital spare.
Gives her a 109 in the 8th with a spare. She got a 119. Right now, basically, Lisa is leading maybe by 1 or 2 pins at the most. So it's that close, and she has 1 frame to go. Same problem that she had before. She's getting to the line a little bit fast. I'm afraid that one may have done it, Omar.
I think in reality, in all fairness, you've got to say about Sandra, Mike pointed out, this is the 4th game she has bowled, and she's bowled them in a relatively short time. She's kept very, very busy, and she could be getting a bit tired. It looks like the ball is tailing off on her, and right now she's got an awfully tough one to pick up here. Too much. Yeah.
She ends up with a 131 game, and Lisa has 130 in the 9th, so really Lisa needs to knock down 1 pin, and she's our new ladies pins over average champion.
Lisa, who was in first place, can maintain it and be the overall winner. Looks good. Oh, it didn't end up very good. She has got a...
She left that 6, 7, 10, Omar, but luckily for her, she's in a position where she can afford to do it.
So Lisa Cash. But it's boiling down right now to seemingly our winner number 2 of the men and women's pins over average. She picked up
the 10
1.
She ends up with a 138, Omar. Lisa Cash is our new ladies pins over average champion.
That's excluding, including the handicap. So Lisa Cash coming through, and when she had to, and Sandra Osmond, who came up out of nowhere, it was a tough struggle for her, but falling short toward the end, the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and the fact is that Lisa Cash is our women's pins over average winner, along with Chip Bolden. And we're coming back now with the 300 club.
Right, and we got a finals of Keith Colosi and Mike Burns, and these are 2 exceptional bowlers, Omar. This should be a great match.
We'll be right back.